Hey guys, welcome.
Hi. Hi.
Hello, we've got a guest on today,
It me.
Louise. And I meant to ask you this too.
Yeah?
I feel like there's a slight difference in how you can pronounce Luis or
Oh,
Louise.
okay. So that's not usually the question I get. The question I usually get is my second name. So Louise is Louise.
Louise.
But
All
how
right.
would you pronounce my second name?
Uh, Sugden?
Nah, that's a little
Yeah.
bit German. It's a bit Swedish. No, it's
Yeah.
Sugden, but I
Okay.
get people pronounce it like fudge. So I get Sudgen a
Oh,
lot.
yeah.
And
No,
it
that
is
didn't come
so
to mind
funny.
at all.
No,
No,
you
I
went
read
full
it as
Swedish.
I was thinking it's
Sugden.
a Swedish name, but it's not.
I don't know where it's from. I don't
All
like it
right.
though. In Swedish, it
Hmm.
means suck it. So
Mm. Yeah, so maybe not,
not
not
maybe not Swedish. Anyway,
Swedish in
hello.
origin.
So nice for you to invite me here.
I guess yeah, that makes sense. But you're out there in UK, right?
Yeah, I'm in Nottingham, home of
So I guess it makes
what's his
sense
face?
more.
Robin Hood. Yeah.
Very nice. But you're going to be in the US very soon, as you were just telling
Yeah,
me.
in
So
Milwaukee, sunny. I don't know if it's sunny. I think Chicago's like
mm,
rainy, so no, okay.
probably not.
Rainy
But
Milwaukee.
pretty
Yeah.
awful weather, I would imagine. I wouldn't anticipate
That's
doing
why
much outside, but
there's so many lakes. It's just rainwater and
yeah.
puddles. It's big puddles.
So hey guys, we've got Louise here,
Hi.
and she's going to talk about her hobby adventures. She's got her own YouTube channel, Instagram, Twitter. You can follow her all over the place. There's a link in the video description
Everywhere.
is just to your YouTube channel, but from there they can find you everywhere else
Yeah, they'll
too.
find me. If it's an internet place, I'm probably there.
Yes. What do they search for? I guess well you can just do your own
Yeah,
kind of intro here, let people know
sure.
who you are and how to find you and all that.
So I am Louise Sugden, not Lois Sudgen. And I say recently, it was like 2 years ago, started my own YouTube channel called Rogue Hobbies, where I mostly do, I guess, we're going to talk about Warhammer. We're going
Mm.
to mention it because that's my main
We'll
jam
have
is
to. Yeah.
Warhammer. We'll have to, I'm sorry.
Mm.
But recently, and this is why I'm here, I
Mm.
got into Gundam.
Mhm.
So I've been doing a few more Gundam videos. So if you like a fresh take on Gundam, give us a follow. It'll be fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like we'll have a lot of people in the hobby that are like people like me who are like
Yeah.
in the hobby because like they came up on Gundam. There's fewer people I think in the hobby that are like in your position. I hear from people a lot of times like that. Say like I've been
Mhm.
into like military models or like
Oh yeah.
Macross maybe even and then got into Gundam,
Interesting.
but
There's
uh
many pipelines I feel into
there are.
Gundam. Bionicle, huge.
Yeah. I saw in your video you mentioned about that how
I
you used to be into Bionicle a lot,
What do you
right? That's
mean
how
used
you
to?
okay, sir.
Um, I
Yes.
love Bionicle. So many pipelines I feel led
Mm,
me into Gundam. It was inevitable, I fear.
mm. That and I think, that's kind of what Bandai is doing, something else we'll talk about
Oh
a
yeah,
little bit
let's
more
talk
about
about that. Yeah, let's talk about their
Bandai-san,
plans.
but they're definitely getting, like, trying to pull in everybody from everywhere else for
You
sure.
think I want to hear more about this because
Mm.
I don't have many Gundam friends, so maybe you
Oh,
could be my Gundam friend.
no, well, I'm sure they'll be expanding for sure. I mean, like, they're
Yeah.
in the UK, I mean, I know that, it's I mean, I don't know what the kind of ratio would be as terms of, like, how many people are into, like, scale modeling versus, like, miniatures, like Gunpla.
There's a huge market for it in the UK
Yeah.
because of Warhammer. Like Games
Mm,
Workshop's on every single high street in Britain. People like
okay.
it's a primed market for Gundam, and I think they've realized
Mm.
that, and it's very
So,
good for
like,
them.
Games Workshop is, like, the main thing there,
Oh yeah.
you would
Yeah,
say?
like there's no
Okay.
one in the UK who hasn't either done Warhammer themselves or like their cousin does it or their weird friend at work does it.
Gotcha.
Like everybody knows what Warhammer is. It's like a staple in the UK.
Alright.
And I think I think it's just like I said a primed market for a Bandai to be like,
Mm.
"Hey, you like this but cheaper?" It's
Right.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
so I
is
think they've
definitely
realized that.
what, seems to be what they're going for with their new Assemble line, which I know you're excited about.
I have to be.
Of
I
course,
had
yeah,
like cards on the table.
yeah.
I had no idea that they were gonna like
Mm,
come out with that when I started making my Gundam
mm,
videos. I had literally no idea.
mm.
And I was like, "Oh, oh, I see." And
It all kind of worked out.
yeah, it did line up pretty good. But yeah, I had absolutely
Mm,
no idea that that was coming out. And obviously, I'm really
yeah,
excited because the
mm,
scale that I paint at is, well, that,
sure.
right? It's Space
Mm,
Marines, if you know what those are. So,
mm,
the idea of painting a Gundam at the scale that I usually paint in is very exciting. And I think everyone seems pretty excited for it.
mm,
I hope that when it comes out, it really flexes on Games Workshop plastic. I hope the plastic
mm.
is like equal quality to Gundam kits that we're used to. I think that would be the best flex that they could do with the wargaming market. But we'll see.
Uh, yeah, I mean, it does seem like that's going to be the case. There's, well, so I want to just kind of maybe
We
stay
said
on
a
this
lot
topic
there.
for a minute,
Yeah.
just because this is like one of the main things I wanted to talk to you about.
You're gonna find I do this a lot. You're gonna have to keep me on track as
No,
best
no,
you
no.
can.
We'll kind of like
Challenge.
come back because I want to get like some of like the origin story in there a bit
Of
as
course,
well.
of
Kind of
course.
talk about kind of how you got into things.
Mhm.
We'll kind of circle back to that later. But one thing, just in terms of like the plastic quality, what to expect,
Yes.
with you being a bit newer to the hobby, maybe you don't know that Bandai basically has
Feel
kind of
free to
like
mansplain to your heart's content. Like, honestly, I won't be mad. I'm
sure.
not gonna be mad.
There's they have like Bandai, what is it? Bandai, and I don't remember the exact names there in Japan, but basically kind of two branches. One that's
Yeah.
like Bandai Hobby, right? Bandai Spirits, which does like all like the Gunpla, and then like
Yeah, yeah,
everything
yeah.
else for like all their like candy toy stuff, which would be like Gundam Converge, and I think like even like the Gundam Artifact kits. Have you ever seen anything about those or know
Yes,
about those
yes. Yeah, yeah,
artifact
yeah,
stuff?
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I figured already it was 2 different kind of
Mm,
studios is the way that we described it, with Warhammer. Because we have,
yeah.
like when
Mm,
I used to work for Games Workshop, there was, like, the main studio, which makes the
mm,
plastic kits, and then there was, like, the licensing studio, which would handle
mm.
sort of everything else.
Sure. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it's like that.
Mhm.
So, with these, with the assemble ones being, like, actually branded as, like, the Gunpla brand means that they're coming from Bandai Spirits, which is where all the other, like, kits come from, so it should
And
be
is that a
exactly
good
the same
thing?
like
Is
that.
this a Oh, you
Yeah.
think?
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Oh.
that means that they're not gonna be using, like, the kind of plastic that they use for, like, some of, like, the candy toy kits, which are even, like, some, like, model kits, like the G-Frame is another line of ones that they
Okay.
have. That plastic's not quite as nice, I feel like.
I'm not expecting it to
Mm.
be as nice, but I would love it to be really, really good.
Well, it should be good. The only thing that I would
Good.
say is it just kinda depends on how nice the details are. Come like, on some of their
Yes.
smaller stuff and, like, a lot of Bandai stuff, like, they don't get, like, the super sharp details. Hopefully, they will for
I hope
these.
they will. I hope they will. Like I said,
Yeah.
I think it would be good, especially for the UK market, to
Mhm.
see that and be like, "Ooh, it's similar to Warhammer." Because Warhammer's
Mm.
quite good, it's quite detailed, but it does have a lot of, like, mold line issues, and
Mm.
obviously you have to build them, and that's not always the best fun to do. So it'd be nice for another company to come along and be like, "This is how it's done," so that maybe the
Mm.
other companies kind of up their game a little bit. That would be nice.
Would be nice. I think,
Hmm.
like, one thing that'll be difficult for, I mean, I know Games Workshop is big, but, like, not, like, Bandai big. So, like,
I don't
Bandai's
think many
always gonna
things
be
are
able to.
Bandai big, yeah, but, Games
Yeah.
Workshop's it's on the up.
Mm.
It's got Henry Cavill likes it now, so it's
There you
good.
go.
There you
There you
go.
go. Whereas, who was that? There was like a couple of years ago, and it kind of makes its way around the internet every couple of years. I feel like there's like
Uh-huh.
photos of it's like Carl Urban and somebody else from like Lord of the Rings. There's like photos of them like buying Gunpla in Japan.
Oh, wasn't it Del Toro or something? Or God, I can't remember.
I
There's a
think,
few.
yeah,
You've got some good Gundam people.
there's some star power there on the Gundam side
I'd
too.
rather have Del Toro than Henry Cavill. I'm sorry, Henry. I haven't
Oh
watched
yeah, it's
Superman,
there you
but
go
I've
in the
watched a
chat.
lot
It
of
was,
Pan's Labyrinth, so
I
I've
mean,
picked
he's
my side.
good. It was Viggo Mortensen was the other one that I was thinking of.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's cool.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
you guys are winning on the celebrity endorsements, I think.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, it
But
was
yeah,
them, and, then, what's his name, from the Star Wars sequels was
oh yeah,
there too.
Darth
Um,
Maul.
no, 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 the sequels, not the prequels. The,
Shit.
the Stormtrooper character, it's not Finn, is it? Is that right?
I have no idea.
I think so.
I'm not good
Anyway,
at Star Wars. I
Well,
ain't a nerd. What do you think I am?
well, that's the one thing that you're not into, I guess. If you're into
True, true.
Warhammer, Gunpla, Bionicle.
I have so many hobbies. It's disgusting. I have a
Hey, speaking of
disgusting
Star
amount of.
Wars,
Oh yeah.
though, Bandai's got some new Star Wars kits that are going to be coming
What?
out. They're going to be announced at the Star Wars Celebration Japan, I guess. Apparently, they
What are
teased.
they gonna be?
I don't know. They teased. They got some new Star Wars kits coming out.
That
So
is exciting. Like,
yeah.
I like Star Wars enough, but I'm not like the biggest Star Wars fan
Mhm.
in the world. But I will, I'll get a little Star Wars something if it's cute. But that's
Yeah.
exciting. That'll do
Yeah.
very well, I feel.
Of
I'm
course. Yeah.
excited
Yeah.
for the Hatsune Miku Zakuzu, which I know I will never get. That's
Yeah. There was a couple people here in the office that were upset
Oh,
about that too. I heard from
yeah.
people that it's just
I think they just sold out like instantly or something.
mhm, mhm.
I would love one.
Uh,
If anyone in the chat has a sparesy, hit me up.
yeah.
I'll
Need a hookup. Trust me. I
do need to
mean,
hook up. I feel
you're
like you
gonna
would
have
be
to
the
like
right
reach
person
out
to
to
hook me
everyone.
up. Yeah.
You reach out to everyone that you know in order to try to get something like that. But that's why
True.
it's good to know people there in Japan too. But even in Japan, I mean, like I saw immediately, like there was a lot of reaction from people even in Japan that they're like, we can't even get this. So what's the
I don't
point?
think I don't I don't think anyone got it. I'd love
No.
one though. You got the chair. We were talking about the chair.
Yes. Check
Got
it
the
out.
chair.
My secret lounge
Where's
chair.
my chair? I haven't earned my chair. Maybe in another. How long have you been doing Gunpla to turn the interview around? Like, what's your story?
A few years.
A
So
few
I've
years.
been
I feel like
on
that's a lie.
like yeah, it's a few times a few.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
So yeah, I had my YouTube channel here for 10 plus years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Proper. Yeah.
And then Gunpla, for a good number of years before that. So yeah,
That's cool.
very much. So yeah, I was due my chair
Yeah, you earned your
anyway.
chair. I haven't earned my chair yet. Maybe in another 10 years, I'll earn my chair.
It'll be around. I like it though. But I mean, that said, I have this other chair which I have a box on at the moment.
I'm
But
gonna say that's a slightly worse chair. Not to be like
no,
a bit mean to the chair.
this is like a $40 Amazon chair that honestly I find very comfortable.
I'm happy for that chair.
So anyway, they're both good though. I mean, if you want a Gundam chair though, it's pretty sweet. Anyway,
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
yeah. So this is kind of a phenomenon and kind of how. So I a friend, like kind of a mutual friend, recommended me to check out your content. Kind of
Oh yeah?
how I kind of found your content, and it's just kind of been a bit of a trend recently
It
that you're not the only uh, like miniature Warhammer painter
No.
who's tried out Gunpla lately. It's been kind of a thing over the past year or so. I feel like
It
I've seen a number
absolutely
of videos.
has. Yeah. Yeah. They've just
Yeah,
discovered it and they're like, "Oh shit, this is good. What the fuck have we been doing?"
right? Well,
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I would say, but I mean, not every I'm sure well, maybe you can talk about that. So like
Yeah, for
what
sure.
would you say is maybe kind of like the reason behind that? Is there any kind of like
So do you wanna know how I got
cause?
into Gundam? Is this the story? Story time.
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So I already like Warhammer's been my basically what Gundam's been for you for the last like
Mm,
15 year. I don't know how long I've been into Warhammer for, but that's like my whole jam. So I love Warhammer. I worked at Games Workshop
mm,
for 8 years doing various things. So the
mm,
construction booklets you get in your wee Gundam boxes. I used to
mm,
make those, but for Warhammer, and that was my
mm,
job. So I did that. I did illustration. I did all sorts, and then I kind of like I left because I was like, oh, I want to do other things that aren't Warhammer. So I started my own YouTube channel, which is fun because now I get to do things which aren't just Warhammer. So
mm,
what happened was Bandai reached out
mm,
and they were like at a Comic-Con in London and they were like, "Hey, do you wanna come look at some robots?" And I was like, "Oh, the fuck is that?"
mm,
So I'd never like, and I feel a bit guilty for this because given my job was making construction booklets for plastic model kits,
mm,
I didn't really do anything outside of Warhammer. And I
mm,
feel like I probably should have. Like, it's good to know the market and things, but I just didn't. It just didn't. For some reason, I just never picked it up. I only did Warhammer for like 10 years, and that was it. So I go down to London town with my friend
mm,
and stuff, and I go visit the guys at Bandai. And
Mm,
they basically, so the guy that showed me around, he's also a big Warhammer fan. Lovely
mm,
guy. And he's like, hey, have you seen this one? This one's cool. And I'm like, ah shit, that is fucking cool. What is so I
mm,
essentially, that's how I got introduced to it. Like it took someone
mm,
to literally stand me in front of a cabinet and be like, have you ever seen these markers? You just fucking put
mm.
it on a thing and it just I was like, oh damn, that's extremely cool. And then I just kind of like I picked up a kit. I put it together. My first kit was the RG God Hand Gundam. And I was just
Uh,
hooked. Like
the God
fully.
Gundam.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, God hands of clippers. Lol. I saw your face. I'm
Sorry.
like, what did I say wrong? Yeah, the God Gundam. And I
Mm,
was fully like,
mm.
oh, this rocks. Like
They brought
this.
you there. They brought you there and didn't even gift you anything. You had
Oh,
to
they
buy it
did.
yourself.
They did. They gave me a goodie
Oh,
bag to take away,
okay,
but
okay, okay, good.
I've not. I decided like I wouldn't
Mm,
use anything because I wanted it to be very much like not like a sponsored thing. Like
mm,
if I was
mm.
to make a video about it, I would want it to be because I really like it,
Yeah,
and I
sure.
wouldn't want people to like muddy the water and stuff. So they gave me a goodie bag, and I've not built anything that they've given me,
Ah,
which is
well,
quite bad.
someday, right? It's in the backlog.
It's in my ever-growing backlog. But yeah,
Mm,
everything I've used on my channel and stuff has been stuff I bought myself because I wanted it to kind of be me getting into it instead of it
mm,
being like them getting me into it, I guess.
mm, mm, mm,
So yeah, so I just kept going and then I
mm.
never stopped.
Sure.
And yeah, that was
Yeah, it's
it. Like
interesting. I mean,
literally I just hit the ground running with it. Absolutely.
that's I mean, I kind of figured or wondered about like if because of the reason because I'd seen, like I
We
said,
can
I'd seen
talk
a
about
number of
it.
different.
I'm very open with things like sponsorships and like
Hmm.
being
Oh
paid to
yeah,
do things and stuff, as you should be, I feel.
of course. And I mean, like people. Well, I don't know. I mean, not everybody. I mean, some
Yeah.
people are kind of like
You
dense
should be
about it,
though.
but
You should be.
normally people can like pick up on that kind of stuff. I feel like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like I got the sense that like it was really weird that all of a sudden all there was like a lot of people like trying Gundam. So I was like, is like
It was.
Bandai UK like reaching out to these people to like try to
So
get them to try it out?
so
But
yes and no, I
yeah.
think is the answer. So like it's not I think a lot of people because I read comments
Mm,
online and
mm,
when the like Gundam tabletop role playing game got announced, I saw a bunch of
mm,
comments being like, "Oh, this is why they've been paying people.
mm,
This is why they've been
mm,
paying the Warhammer people to make this content." And I'm like,
mm.
"Bitch, I never got paid for shit." Like and that's why
Yeah.
I didn't want to like
Mm,
use the kits that they gave me because I was like,
mm,
I don't want to muddy the waters in any
mm.
way. They literally introduced me to it, and then
Yeah.
the rest was very much me.
Mm.
And it was very easy to introduce me to it as well, like I said. Um,
What?
but yeah, they
Yeah.
definitely but it wasn't like a mass campaign.
Sure, sure.
Like, because
Mm,
I talk to people that go to these events and stuff, and it was
mm,
maybe like 5 people that they invited to come, like, look around the stall, and they got a little,
mm,
like, goodie bag with some markers in it, and,
mm,
but no one was paid to make content. I made
mm,
my first video, and it popped off in a good way,
mm,
and then from
mm,
there, I think people just started trying it out. I think the influencing was
mm,
very organic. I've described it as
mm,
introducing orange enjoyers to orange juice. Like,
mm,
I feel
mm.
like I
Yeah.
feel like
Yeah.
Warhammer people are primed, like I said, to enjoy Gundam, and they did.
Sure.
But there wasn't
Mm,
a mass, as far as I know. I never got paid to do it.
mm.
So if anyone else did, god
Shame.
damn them,
Well,
right?
that's why it's like that's why it was kind of why I was curious about it, just because
Yeah,
I know like how like of what I know of how Bandai acts here in the US,
I don't
where
know anything
basically
about it. Let me know.
they're very hands off when it comes to working with any content creators because I mean I
Really?
kind of get it
How interesting.
that I think it's for a couple of reasons, but I think the main reason is like why go through the effort and especially why even pay anybody when you got people that are making stuff to promote
Well,
your stuff for free
yeah,
already.
I guess I've always been used to it because
Mm,
Games Workshop had like a content creator program
mm,
as well. So
mm,
I just assumed like
mm.
maybe it was the same thing, but
No,
Games Workshop are
Bandai does not.
very well, Games Workshop are very hands-on with that program. Like
Mm,
they will send these people on their list, and the list is like 100 plus people, like
mm.
every single latest release,
Oh,
right?
really?
Like yeah. Like
Wow.
they're getting like they are swamped with content creators. So I didn't know if it was like that, but honestly, they have been
Uh,
hands off.
yeah,
Like, the
yeah,
only
yeah.
thing they've done is invited me to Comic-Con twice, and then were like, "Do you wanna do the GBWC?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Mm,
Oh, and I went to the premiere as well, but, like, I'm not getting,
mm,
like, free kits. Like I said, they gave me a goodie bag the first time I went there,
yeah.
and I got, to assemble a little Gundam on the second time, but I wasn't paid to do any content. I very easily could have just not. Like, I could have just never made a single Gundam video, ever.
That's why I'm just surprised to hear that there was even that little bit of like communication between them and like
Really?
you as like content creators,
Is
because
it
it's
that
like
rare?
it is here. It's like,
Maybe that's why
yeah,
people were a bit like, "What's going
I think
on?"
so. Yeah, because well, I
Okay.
think
Good to
yeah,
know.
because I think people also don't know that like Bandai's operations like here in the US and there probably and in other countries. I mean, like
They'll
they're
be very
all still a
different.
part of this part of the company, but they do operate slightly differently. Like
Maybe they're trying to do the Games Workshop thing, right? Of having, like, content creators.
it would
Maybe.
be good
Maybe
if
it's
they
the
did. I wish they would do that more everywhere
I
else
didn't
too.
know. I didn't know that it was like, "Ooh, not a
Yeah,
thing."
no, no.
Interesting.
I
Okay,
think it's
so
just that, yeah.
this is good context. Like I said, I don't have any
Mm,
Gundam friends, or
mm,
many that aren't also Warhammer friends, so I don't really
mm.
know a lot of stuff, but yeah, okay.
Right?
Maybe
Yeah, I
maybe
mean,
that's why people were a bit suspicious of my content when it came out.
hey, I mean, if I were you, I would encourage them to do it more even. I mean,
Do
like,
it
yeah,
more.
and like you're saying, you're not even like to they don't have to, pay you. You don't have to turn into like a sponsorship.
No,
But I mean, like,
no. Like I
I
said,
think it's
if I
good.
ever used a kit that they'd given me, I got the, flex.
Yeah,
Yay!
nice. Mm,
So, that was, like, the only thing that I've ever posted where I've had to be like, "This is sponsored because I got this for
mm,
free." The
mm,
rest, like I said, came from me just
yeah.
naturally getting into it because that seemed like the correct thing to do, and I did. Like I said, they just pointed me in the direction of a cabinet and went, "Oh, that's cool." And I went,
Mm,
"Fuck yeah, it is." And I popped off.
mm. Well, yeah, and I mean, like I said, I think it's very serendipitous timing too. I mean, they've got their miniature line coming out, but it's not like
Yeah.
I
Was
mean,
I
people are making it
used?
out. I don't think so. I think that it just kind of works out that way because like people are like pointing out that like, oh, Bandai's trying to get into like the miniatures, but they've made like
Maybe.
miniature model kits before. I mean, like this one is like specifically made for like a game and like to go with
Mhm.
like the card game and everything. So that's what
Yeah.
makes this like a little bit different, but like, it's not the first time
No.
that they've made, small scale model kits.
Yeah,
So
and of course everyone's been like, "Oh, it's Warhammer but Gundam," and, it's or like, "It's
yeah.
40K but Gundam," and it's kind of
Mm,
not. Like, I can
mm,
basically tell from the way the game is made like, it's on
mm,
a hex board,
yeah.
so there's games that already exist which are like that, and
Mm,
it's not very Warhammery at all.
mm,
It's more
yeah.
like a board game with miniatures and
Kind of,
probably
yeah.
cards and stuff. Yeah.
And my expectations are, I mean, I think, we're not going to see like, years and years of different releases like with Warhammer, where you have
No.
all these different factions and variations and all this stuff. I think we'll
Yeah,
probably
it's just
see
a
a
cool
couple
thing.
of volumes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a cool little thing that they've, done, but yeah,
Mm,
it timed up real nicely with
yeah.
all of the Warhammer people discovering Gundam,
Mm. Well,
which is cool. Good for them.
if it was on purpose, yeah, if it was good for them, I think they should do more
Well,
stuff like that.
this is the weird
Yeah.
thing because, like, I messaged my guy, and I was
Mm,
like, "Oh, do you think you can, like, hook me up with the, game before it comes out so we can, like, do an actual sponsored video?" And he was like, "That's not my department."
yeah.
Like, the
That's
people
sounds
yeah,
about right.
like, The people
Uh,
who got me into Gundam have nothing to do with the actual war game,
oh yeah, right.
which is interesting. Or at least like they were like, hope you still
Yeah,
keep doing the other kits that we know though. And I'm like, I will. Actually, yes.
yeah, yeah. It has been kind of weird because like they initially announced it to be coming out this summer, and then there was this
Oh,
thing that
it's
they
been
had
like
there.
pushed back or something.
It was, yeah, pushed back, but now they have the first couple of sets, I guess, are coming out in June
Oh,
this year,
really?
apparently. So I
I've
don't know.
seen people that already have them because they've gone to like wargaming events or something. And I don't think they're gonna be
Oh.
at the event I'm going to, or else I try and
Mm,
snag some, which would be really cool.
mm,
But yeah, I've not managed to get my hands on an early release of the thing that they used me to subterfuge. No, I'm just
yeah.
kidding.
It would be cool. But so I guess like we could go in a couple of different directions, but since we're
Yeah,
talking about like kind of differences between like some of the stuff that you've built so far, I mean, I guess now that you've built like a couple of kits,
a
are you
couple.
finding that you're finding like any kind of more than a couple?
Oh,
A lot?
maybe, I mean, not a lot probably for someone like you that's been into it for a really long time, but I must have built, like, up to 20. So,
That's a
like,
fair amount.
for the amount of time that I've been into it,
Mm,
absolutely too many, I would
it's a
say.
fair amount.
I wanna do a video soon, which is, like, ranking the ones I've built so far, which I think will be
Mm,
really good fun, and
mm,
it's just a fun, easy video, but yeah, I've definitely built a lot, maybe too many.
yeah. Never too many,
Well,
I
that's what they
always say.
say. Yeah.
But have you found that you have like any favorites in terms of like scale or grade so far?
Yeah. So I really enjoy real grade a
Mm,
lot. I find like I think that that does it for me because like I said, I've been building kits for a very, very long time.
mm,
And that really scratches my brain as far as like the engineering goes. I
mm,
really like them, but as far as like I really like high grade, from the Witch from Mercury line for high grade has just been hit after hit for me. And I
mm,
don't have a
mm,
lot to compare it to because I've only built like a few, like, 20 kits. But
mm,
I've not had a Witch from Mercury high grade kit that I've not loved. And that I've not built and been like, oh, this is my new favorite. This is my new favorite. So
mm,
that's been really fun. But yeah,
mm.
I think real grade is my favorite so far. I just got the RX. I'm really bad with numbers. 78, the new one, the
Oh
2.0.
yeah. Okay.
I'm
Yeah, yeah,
so
you'll love it.
excited. It looks
Mm,
amazing. So like that's the one
mm,
that I'm like super excited to do. But yeah,
mm.
I think real grade has been my favorite so far.
Aside from just like the engineering of them, I mean,
Mhm.
like what's something that I mean, like coming from like Warhammer, what's something that
Yeah.
you enjoy about like the process of working on them?
I think it's I mean, everyone always says like Warhammer's so therapeutic. And I'm
Mm,
like, I'm on the fence about that because
mm,
after we build them, we have to paint them, and that's extremely stressful. Like
yeah.
if painting them goes wrong, you're having the worst day of your life. And I like that when
Mm,
you build them, that's like you're kind of done. So all
mm,
of your focus can go into something which if you do it really well, it will look good. Like I've
mm,
been painting for like 10 plus years and it can still go really wrong for me no matter how hard I
mm,
try.
mm,
I think when I'm building a Gundam, it's like if I file everything down, if I make it really smooth, if I put it together perfectly, it's gonna look really good. And
mm,
I think that's really, really rewarding that, like, at the end and again, I'm gonna mention the engineering because it is insane. Like, building Warhammer isn't fun.
mm.
It's not like, I don't have you ever tried it? Have you ever done Warhammer?
No, actually, but I've built other like similar stuff.
Yeah. So,
That's, I mean,
Warhammer
like, yeah,
has an
small
equivalent.
and fixed posts kind of things. Yeah.
It's not fun. They have an equivalent which is like it's called push fit, which is
Mm,
essentially what all Gundams are. It's like you don't need glue, and it's
mm,
impossible to build them from Games
mm,
Workshop. Like they just don't go together. You have to like file down all of the nubs and like use Tamiya cement to make it anywhere good. And
mm,
it's just so easy with
mm,
Gundam. And I think
mm,
I think that's blown a lot of Warhammer people's minds. And
mm.
I'm just looking at them right now on my shelf and just going, "Ah, they're so pretty." And like the color
Adoring them.
separation on them, the way the leg pistons all move together when
Mm.
you're bending, the posability, the detail, it's just great. It just tickles my brain in such a good way. I love it.
As far as like what the like Games
Mhm.
Workshop, well, not Games Workshop, but like
Yeah.
people in that community, anyway, people
Mhm.
in the Warhammer community,
It's
is
mostly
there
it's mostly Warhammer. Yeah.
is
They're
there
the big one.
people is there people that like don't like it, that are like against it? Because I hear that a lot from like scale modeling people that are like when they're at like IPMS shows and stuff, and they're like,
Oh,
oh,
yeah?
Gundam, that's like kids stuff.
Really?
Do you get that
Um,
reaction at all from
I
that
think
side?
less so. I think the only thing
Yeah.
I've seen is people being like, "I don't like mech suits." And it's like,
Mm,
"You're probably not gonna like Gundam then," because,
yeah.
that's but I think as far as Warhammer goes, we've already had all of the people being like, "Oh, what? You play Warhammer? That's for kids." Like,
Mm,
Warhammer people get that constantly, so there's very
mm,
few people who like Warhammer who'll go, "Well, that one's for babies," because 'cause they're kinda
mm.
outing themselves at that point. So,
Right, just because of, like, what you're saying with, like, how easy they are to assemble and the fact that they don't need paint. Are there people that are kinda, like,
oh, I
elitist about it, saying that,
see.
like,
I
that's, like,
it's not
too
as, like,
easy?
highbrow. No, because, like,
Yeah.
you could paint them. To those people,
Mm,
I'd just be like, "Okay, paint them then." That's what I did.
mm,
I painted,
mm,
like, the 2nd Gundam I ever built because I was
mm.
like, "Cool, I wanna try this out." Like, I think, again, they'd just be outing themselves as just like, "Okay, you can paint them,
Mm.
do it." So, no, I've not actually seen a lot of people,
Interesting.
like, shitting on them in that way, which is great. Good
Yeah.
for the Warhammer people.
Surprising. A
Yeah.
bit surprising just because I know just, like, kinda how people can
Is that
be,
a
like,
thing?
even
Really? I need like I
I
say,
would think
I'm
so.
not I don't think I've been in the Gunpla community, if that's a thing, for long
Yeah.
enough to know, like, the various zeitgeists that people say, but,
I think
I've not had anyone being mean to me because of it, which is great, love that.
yeah. I mean, I think it probably just depends on, like, what you're expecting, like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect that, like, half of your comments would be like, "What is this shit?" But,
No, they loved
yeah,
it.
I mean, there's always gonna be some people that are just not gonna be into it, in which case you'd be like, "I don't know."
Yeah, I mean, obviously you get the real weirdos.
Mm,
I called my Ariel, a she, and some guy just really hated that.
yeah.
'Cause he's like, "Why are you bringing women into this?" And I'm like, "Have you met hello?
Why are you commenting on this
Why are
video?
you commenting? Why are you being an incel at me? Go away."
Yeah,
Yeah, he was
yeah,
really upset that there was a girl mobile suit. And, like, there's been a few comments like that. There's been a few people who do
mm,
think that I'm, like, a Gundam sleeper agent who's secretly like we said, who's secretly, like, being paid by Gundam to
mm,
kind of pave the way for Warhammer people
mm,
to get into Gundam. It just happened. Like I said, I if it happened to me that easily, I'm not
mm,
surprised everyone else followed in really quickly. But yeah,
mm.
apart from that, it's honestly like all the Warhammer people have just
That's
taken to
good.
it really well, which is lovely.
Do you figure it's gonna get a lot of people, like, off of Warhammer, and they're just gonna switch to
I
Gunpla
don't
entirely, or you think, like, people
know.
will be, like, still pretty mixed?
I'm honestly, for me, I still love Warhammer. I
Yeah.
still like I haven't completely switched.
Mm,
But it is interesting. So recently it seems like less like people are losing a little bit of interest in Warhammer.
mm,
Like, overall,
mm,
they've got some big projects. So they've got, like, record sales, huge projects coming up. They've got an Amazon, like, cinema movie series coming up. It's gonna be
mhm,
huge. Like, Warhammer is never gonna fail. But I
mm,
have seen recently, not just Gunpla, but people are looking for different things to get into. Like, people are a
mm,
bit bored of 40K, a bit bored of Space Marines. And I think and again, I think this is why it happened all at the right time, because I think people genuinely are looking for more hobbies similar to
mm,
Warhammer, which aren't Warhammer. I think Gundam was basically perfect for that. For me
mm,
personally anyway,
mm,
I liked having something else which wasn't Warhammer, which felt a little bit like it, which also was rewarding at the end, and I could, like, do a kit in a night, and it looks really cool. But yeah,
mm,
I don't think they're gonna stop doing Warhammer, but it's cool to have
mm.
more hobbies, I think.
Uh, a couple well, I was gonna ask you something else, I'll come back to
Oh, yeah.
that, but since you
We have
mentioned
time.
it,
We
is
have
there
time.
anything, aside from Gundam, I mean, is there any other, like, franchises of, model kits that you're wanting to try out? Like, anything?
Ooh, like what? I do like there's so many like Warhammer, not Warhammer, but like
Like,
miniature gaming stuff. Introduce me, influence me.
here you go. Try
What
like a
the
machining
what the
krieger
hell is
kit.
that? What the fuck are you showing me? What's this?
Here's
That's
well, here's
cool.
a different one.
See, this is
Well,
live in action. How easy it was to get me into Gundam. Yeah, I'll
try
buy
one of
it.
these.
What is it? What?
So this is Machine Krieger.
Okay, never
I
heard
feel
of
like
it.
it'd be kind of up your alley. So they have like these like suits like
I
this.
love the packaging a
Yeah.
lot. Like
It's very cool.
that's some good packaging. Yeah, I'll buy it. Screw it.
But I mean,
Link
like,
me later. I will just.
there's loads of other stuff. Yeah, like what Carlo was mentioning there in the chat, the Maru
Oh yeah.
Toys kits. Those are super cool.
Like I said,
Do I have
I only
one
did
here?
Warhammer for so long.
Yeah.
Hit me up with some more. I'll obviously like
I'll
read
just
this
give you
back
like a
and read all
list
the
of
comments
all
and
this
stuff.
other stuff.
Do because I'm so willing.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm new to kind of like that kind of building. I've only ever built like little guys and painted
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
So yeah, influence me. Hit me up.
All right.
Recommendations. I'll buy them. I'll do it. I'll make a video about
But
it.
nothing, at least at the moment, there's nothing that like you have in mind that like you're really looking forward to also trying like this
No,
probably
like I
for
said,
that.
I need more like
Mm.
Gundam friends. Because right now I just have Warhammer friends who
Oh,
are trying Gundam. So I need more
here.
people in my life to help me out with that. So hit me up. Hit me up
They're
with
wanting
recommendations.
in the chat, they're wanting me to show you. So here.
What
Here's
are we looking at?
oh no. Here we go. Let me put this up. So
Let me
these
see.
are the Marutoys ones I was mentioning. These are from Kotobukiya makes these. There's like a
How
bunch
do
of
they
different
know
ones.
I'm like this?
Yeah.
Oh my god! There's a Miku one!
Yeah, I forgot about that one too. Yeah, they have that.
What are these? These are they're just little guys.
Yeah, just these little robots.
Who are okay, and see, easy, right? Done. Sold.
Yeah.
Requires zero more effort than showing me something cute, and I'm like, hell yeah.
I've
Have you
painted
done
a couple of them.
Rogue
Here, like
Robots?
this is one that I did, like this, like camo one like that. They're super fun to customize. Like they're probably
I'm
one of the most fun model kits to work on, to be
Is
honest.
that you in a suit looking all
Yes.
looking all swag?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes.
These are
Before
so cute. I will absolutely get 100 of these. What
they're
the
awesome.
fuck? What are they
Yeah.
called? Tamo 2?
Maru Toys is like
Maru
the like
Toys.
the series.
Oh. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Great
There's a few
recommendation.
different ones.
Yeah, I just like I said, I just need to talk to people who are actually into it to recommend me stuff like this. Or else how would I know?
Yeah.
How will I know?
Like
That's so cute.
Min's yeah, Min's suggestion of 30 minutes missions is also great. That's
yes,
all
I've built a few of them.
Okay.
Yeah, I built a few like the little robot lassies. They were really cute. I love those.
That's the 30-minute sisters, like the female character ones. All right.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. I like the robot ones. Those are really cute. Yeah, I built a few of those. Like I said, I got the bug. I got it bad.
Oh yes, Mechatro Ego. Oh, okay. All right. I don't want to like just turn this into like a showing you.
Can we though?
But
Can we though? If it's cute, I want to know.
I
wouldn't mind.
Do have to show you these though too.
What?
So these guys.
Oh, look at these little. Oh my god, they have Eva ones. Scroll up now.
Yeah, that one. They have great ones. These ones are cool because they come with little 120 scale resin figures of the characters too.
Oh no, I'm obsessed. This is.
So yeah.
This is 10 out of 10. Yeah, like I didn't know this was a thing. I don't know that one, but it's the is it OA Eva suit? Yeah, it is.
With Mari.
Oh yeah, look.
Just look at the packaging. It's adorable.
I nearly got the Eva 08 Tamagotchi the other night, but it was like 40 quid. So it's pink though, so I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, these are great. Keep them coming. I can't see the chat. Keep bothering them.
Oh, you can. You should be able to.
Don't let them stop. These are cutie pies. What the heck?
Volcom would be another series I would recommend you should check out.
I am such a noob. Like I promise you,
right.
if you asked me about Warhammer, I would sound so smart.
That's
so
fine.
smart.
Well, that's why we do these world crossovers.
I like this. This is fun.
Yeah.
I will absolutely be buying, especially the first one, the Maro toys.
Our toys, yeah, they're
Very
awesome.
cute. Fantastic recommendation. Thank you. Thank you, the chat.
Yes, I like in the chat too. They also recommended the Ava lobster kits. Yeah.
Oh, I think I've seen those. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I have. Yeah. I like that. I like lobsters.
There's a lot. Oh yeah, like Ghost in the Shell, Tachikoma kits. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff on there. So.
Yeah, no,
That's why I have all this, because of all this cool stuff they keep making over there in Japan. It's crazy.
They're good at it, aren't they?
But anyway, so
that was a good detour. I like that.
I'll send you a laundry list of stuff to recommend, and your wallet.
Well, those two you showed me right there, instant in my cart. Like, set it, pack it, forget it, go home. Definitely. Done.
But yeah, coming back to other question I wanted to ask before that, before we got off talking about all the other cool stuff, is for your Gunpla so far. How have you tackled painting them? Because like the totally different kind of animal in terms of like what you're working with. I mean, you could paint it in the exact same way, but I assume that you're finding like different ways to go about your painting, right?
Assume wrong. Exactly like Warhammer. Yeah, so the first one I decided to paint is this little guy, and it's just like boop. Is this an SD bug or something? It was like I decided to get the cheapest. Oh Jesus!
Full
jump
screen.
scare.
There you go.
There he is.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I decided to get. I put it down, so now you have to.
There you go. Okay.
Thank you. Jump scared myself. I hated that. Yeah, so I just decided I would buy like the cheapest one just to see like how it paints. And it's I just obviously I glued it into position apart from the arms, which I kept as they are. But yeah, I just primed it, sprayed it black, and then painted it like I would Warhammer with my various paints. As you can see. Many of them. Yeah. And literally, exactly, I did the exact same thing for my Gundam Builder World Cup Championship. I always get it wrong. Gunpla Builder World Championship. I say it wrong every time I say it.
Just say GBWC.
Oh, there you go.
Make it easy on yourself, yeah.
Yeah, I painted it just like I would Warhammer. I just found a primer which was kind of like that kind of off-white, which kind of helped speed things up a bit. But yeah, exactly the same as I'd paint a Warhammer vehicle is how I painted it. Yeah. And with because I painted the aerial suit for the Gundam Builder World Cup. And I just glued some parts into position. I don't know, is that taboo? See, this is the other thing as well. I entered the GBWC not knowing anything about like the culture or what people do or don't do. And I think some people were like real mad at me for painting Gundam with a brush.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's certainly like, I don't know, 8 out of 10 or 9 out of 10 probably people just airbrush. Yeah,
which is
so it's
people do that on Warhammer
too.
Is it?
It's not unheard of though. I mean, and it's not like taboo. I wouldn't say. No one's gonna like. If anything, people will like admire you more for getting like a good paint finish by hand brushing, because mostly people know that, like, because a lot of people will like try out Gunpla and like try painting for the first time, and they'll try like hand brushing, just like some like whatever paints like from the store.
It's horrible. It's difficult. Yeah. The hardest thing to do
like
in
really
Warhammer. Yeah, it is. The hardest thing, the one thing that I teach people for painting miniatures, first of all, is how to get a good finish on your miniature. Like what consistency the paint should be so that you don't get those very obvious brush marks. And it is hard. I saw someone, it was like in like the Gunpla Reddit or something the other day being like, how the fuck do Warhammer painters do this shit?
Yeah.
And I was like, you just do it for 15 years every day and never stop. Ever. But yeah, I honestly have just painted them exactly the same way I would Warhammer. Like I haven't really, I'd like to try painting them like, I want to say a proper Gunpla person, but that's not really a thing. But you know what I mean? Like I want to do like etching, like airbrushing, all that good stuff. I've not tried that yet. I just did it like I did Warhammer.
Yeah, that, and I mean, I guess you're using just like all acrylic paints too, so not
literally
messing with too much
these ones,
lacquer.
Yeah, these ones on my shelf, literally just acrylic paints. Yeah, that was it.
So having to deal with lacquer is going to be like a whole
I don't want to think about it.
Yeah.
I don't want to think about it. I'll just be different.
Yeah.
I'll just, prime them. What is it called?
Mhm.
This, not setting spray.
Surfacer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There
We
you
have
go.
that in Warhammer too. I just hate it because I used to do
Mm.
doll repainting before I did like ball jointed dolls and
Mhm,
stuff.
mhm,
I did that before I did Warhammer, and I frosted so
mm,
many pieces of art that I'm just like, I hate it. I don't want to prime my
mm,
miniatures. I'm never doing this. So
mm.
if you touch my miniature, it'll just dissipate. That's fine.
Everything comes off. Well, that's the other thing. I mean, like you were saying that you don't know, like if it's taboo to like glue the joints and stuff. Whereas,
Yeah,
like, that's what I was wondering if you like when you're building your Gunpla, are you inclined to want to glue the joints because you're used to just like a static
absolutely not. No,
closed?
no, no, no.
Yeah.
Unless I was like painting it for a very specific purpose. I
Mm,
absolutely love them the way they are. I love the
mm,
posability. I also really like photography and stuff like that. So
okay.
it's been
Mm,
fun to have that posability and play around with that too. I need to
mm,
post more photos of my posed
right.
Gundam. But yeah, yeah, no, I love them just the way they are at the box. I played around with
Mm,
like panel lining, that's pretty fun.
mm,
Decals, obviously we have those in Warhammer too, so that wasn't too
mm,
out the box for me. But yeah, I really want to try etching next.
mm.
Doing all
The
those that's
decals you use
insane.
in Warhammer, you're usually using like water slide decals as well,
That's
or
what
like
you
dry
guys call them.
transfer?
So
Yeah.
we have,
Yeah.
which is really interesting, a bunch of shared language, which is
Mm,
slightly different.
mhm,
So we never call decals water slides,
mm,
or we call them clippers and not nippers. Nippers is
mm.
weird. I'm gonna say I hate
Gotcha.
that word.
Okay, sure.
There's like
Understand.
a bunch of shared language, which is like
Mm,
slightly different. Runners, we call them sprues.
yeah.
It's like a
So
cultural
there's
exchange.
yeah, I
Look
feel
at
like
this.
most people say runners, but you do get a lot of people kind of maybe it depends on just what their background is, right?
Maybe.
You get a lot
Yeah,
of mix of sprues.
I say
What's
sprue.
another one?
I say sprue.
Trees, some
Um,
people say. It's weird.
trees? Oh,
Yeah, I don't
what?
know.
Because they like oh, I guess so.
I
I
don't
like
know.
that. That's cute.
I've heard that. Mm,
But yeah, etching's not really a thing in Warhammer. I've
yeah.
never seen, and it could be interesting, so I'd love to try it.
It's challenging. And I know you're a fan of Ryan's work, and
Oh,
I
I
mean,
was
like,
gonna
he's like
mention
the master of
Ryan.
that.
I want to publicly apologize for not answering your DMs for 3
Oh,
months
it's fine.
until Ryan told me to.
Yeah, well,
I'm
I'll
sorry.
just to give the backstory on that, so, yeah, I had sent a
Can I go
message.
grab some water?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, you
Yes, absolutely, that's fine, I'll explain the backstory. Um, I had sent a message to Louise about, because like I said, a friend of mine had recommended, "Oh, you should have her on." She's a recently tried, Gundam, has been really enjoying it. Would be cool to get her perspective. So I sent her a message and then never got any reply back. So I just kind of was like, all right, oh well. And then talking to Ryan, I don't know how it came up while I was talking to Ryan. I think, because I'd seen Luis's video talking about GBWC and talking about Ryan's build. And I think I mentioned something to Ryan about it. And he was like, yeah, because I think I wondered if she had asked for Ryan's permission, which I knew Ryan wouldn't care. He's not the kind of person that would care about that. But I know that some people, like, if they wanted to use someone else, someone else's build in their video thumbnail or something like that, then they would ask their permission or something. So I asked Ryan, I was like, did she get in touch with you about like talking about your build and like posting that? He's like, yeah, she reached out to me. So I was like, well, let her know that I was trying to get in touch with her. So he did, and that's how we got to being in this interview here today, me and this chair. She'll be back in just a second. But anyway, so yeah, it all worked out. Glad that we could have this conversation here today. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it. I think there's a good amount of you guys who are watching in the chat now live who are maybe fans of Luis's and kind of finding this channel maybe, or people that are kind of normal viewers here on this channel and also know her content. But anyway, hopefully you guys, if you are seeing me for the first time, then welcome. Or if you're seeing Luis's channel for the first time, check her out. I'll use this opportunity actually maybe to plug her social media while she's not here. So like I mentioned at the
like.
back, all right, I'm plugging you here. So
Oh,
while you're
look.
gone,
Cringy thumbnail pictures. I don't know.
uh,
Do you use your face in thumbnails?
on the occasion, if it's
Is
a
it do you
video where I'm like doing a lot of like talking like this,
which is all
sometimes,
I
yeah.
do. Do you find it's the most cringiest thing where you have to be like, "I'm shocked."
Yeah.
I hate it. I hate it. Thumbnail day is my least favorite day because my camera reel just gets filled with like 100 pictures of me doing the stupidest face.
I mean, like, I feel like it, like, algorithmically, they do better when you have
Oh,
that, though. So, I mean,
people
like, I get
people
it.
like people. People
Yeah.
like being like, "Oh, it's my internet friend Louise. What's she doing today?" It's my
I like this comment
parasocial
here.
best friend.
We got this comment here from Lost Monkey. You won't
You
believe
won't
what
believe what
Bandai is
Van
doing. Real.
Yeah,
You have to
my
have the
my
real in
Space Marine
parentheses,
did what? I can fit how many mobile suits in
and then not a joke at the end.
Not a joke. Like, and
Or
then a couple of just, like, flame emojis and stuff.
mm,
Yeah. Yeah. I hate and love YouTube.
yeah,
I don't I've never, like, clickbaited, but God, I love just doing one word in capital letters. Oof. Feels
you
so
have to play
good.
the game. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know.
And I think
Pretty
we're
fun game.
fortunately, like we were talking about earlier about kind of
Mm.
like how people can sense like how genuine you're being, whatever, too. And I think like a lot of people these days, fortunately, are they kind of get it that like you have to play the game to a degree, but they still want you to then
Yeah.
be like otherwise kind of genuine, you
I
know?
would never lie in a
Yeah.
thumbnail. I would never lie with my face attached to it. And I think, well, saying that, I think that's the reason why a lot of people, because when people started being like, "Oh, she's definitely been paid to make these videos," I was hurt because I was like,
Mm,
"No, I wasn't," and I would tell
mm,
you if I was. But I think,
mm.
like you said, a lot of people don't when they are paid to do things. Like, a lot of people won't
Oh,
say. So I
yeah.
kind of am like, "Okay, I understand why people
Oh,
are a
yeah.
bit skeptical maybe,"
Yeah, I'm
especially with the
skeptical of
timing of it,
everyone,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, well, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, like, I think the timing was a bit, like, suspect.
Mm.
That's not my fault.
I think like you just also have, there's always going to be a number of people who are just they're like looking for reasons to
Oh,
like
100%, yeah.
hate on you or like question your motivations about everything. I mean, like no matter what you do, someone will be like, yeah, right, whatever.
You're
I bet
just
they don't
yeah.
do the
I think
kind of
I've
thing.
done, like, 2 sponsored videos in my entire career.
Yeah.
But,
No,
none of them were from Bandai, so
there'll always be those people.
Everything in my videos, if it's been, like, gifted, I will say, and I think that's really important. Like, Lego sent me their Lego, like, D&D set, right?
Mm,
It was insane, like, huge, like, 400-pound kit, but they never paid me to make a video on it. I just thought it was cool, and in my video, I'm like, very much, I didn't buy this, and if
mm,
I had to, I wouldn't have, because I
yeah.
would be
Yeah.
poor.
Yeah. That was the
Yeah,
same, like, with the chair, like, no one was really, like, on me about it, but, like,
no.
people were
I
asking,
think
like,
people were jelly.
is it really that great?" And I'm like, "I wouldn't buy it
It's
just
a free
because
chair. Yeah.
I'm cheap. I don't and I have a family, and I can't spend $700 on a chair.
No,
But if
absolutely
I
not.
did, and if I really
Absolutely
wanted a
not.
Gundam chair, I mean, hey, it's pretty dope."
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
absolutely same. Which is why I've not, like, used anything that they've given
mm,
me in my videos because I wanted people
mm.
to know it was all from the heart, which it
You can't
was.
convince everyone, I mean,
I wish I could
you
though.
know
That
that,
really
yeah,
annoys me that everyone can be wrong on the internet and there's nothing I can do about it. That really pisses me off actually.
yeah.
Like, they should stop.
Well, there's a question for you. I mean, like,
Oh
since
yeah.
you've been on YouTube, what is, like, one of the things that you found kind of the most difficult to deal with?
Honestly, all stuff myself, just like keeping up with
Mm,
my own schedule, knowing when I should take a week off to do something else and not make a video. So I have a
mm,
pretty lackadaisical YouTube schedule. I try to do one video every 2 weeks. And that's
mm.
because a lot of the time, if I make a video, I'm painting something that can take a month,
Yeah,
depending on
right.
what I'm painting.
Mm,
Um, so and I have my own miniature range as well. Uh-huh,
mm, mm.
plug,
Nice, nice.
Rascaltown, go to roguehobbies.com, nice, sponsored, no. But, yeah,
Mm,
I have my own miniature range, and, I have to, like, design,
mm,
quality control, produce, paint, make all the packaging for my own miniature range and stuff, and it's
mm,
like, I don't know, it's just my own schedule. I'd love to be able to do, like, a video a week, but I can't.
mm.
Mostly people on the internet are quite nice to me. I've been quite lucky. There are
Yeah.
obviously some absolute like cracked out weirdos out there,
Mm,
but they're easy to block. But I've had quite a blessed time on the internet, I think. And
that's
especially
good.
with Gundam from
Mm,
like your side, I think all the people saying welcome to the hobby from
mm,
like the Gundam community have been lovely. So
mm.
congratulations to your side of the board for being so inviting to all of
Great.
us Warhammer people. Yeah, like so many,
Yeah.
most of the comments. I think that video, the first one I posted, has as many comments as it does because it's just Gundam people being like, "Welcome to the hobby. So glad you
Mm,
found us. This is so nice."
mm,
And I'm not sure if it would be as inviting because Warhammer people can be a little bit gatekeepy, a little bit
mm,
like, "This is my super cool thing, you're gonna
mm,
ruin it." But I found the Gunpla people have been nothing but lovely, which is
mm.
really nice. So congratulations.
I think it's I think that it can be gatekeepy here, but
What do you
not
mean? What do you mean?
not really.
I wanna know.
It's more so to do with like whenever there's a new anime, there's always a bunch of fans
Ah.
that come into the hobby like just
Oh,
as
no,
like
it's
anime
me.
fans. And then like those fans of the anime, like for example, like Witch from Mercury was the last
Loved
one,
it.
right? So
Loved it.
so people will come in and they're getting into the hobby because of Witch from Mercury. So like
Yeah.
they think that Witch from Mercury is like the best thing ever. And then like
Uh-oh.
all the older fans are like, "Oh, you haven't seen this, you haven't seen this. Like
Yeah.
you're not a
Do
like a
you have the
real
word
fan yet."
tourist?
Not that
I should
I know
Okay,
of.
good, good.
Yeah.
That's the word that the, like, gatekeepy Warhammer people say. They call people a tourist. So,
Yeah. No,
I
I don't think like
figure
that.
because Warhammer's gonna get, like, its first, like, big movie slash
Mm,
Amazon series, and I'm expecting a ton of that to happen where, people got
mm,
into Warhammer because they think Henry Cavill's hot, which is
mm.
fine, which is absolutely fine.
Sure.
But I figure there's gonna
Yeah.
be a lot of people which are like, "You're not a real fan
Mm,
because you just got into it because of this." But it's like,
yeah.
people get into things different ways. Not
Mm,
everyone is born with 30 years experience in the thing that they're getting
mm.
into. You gotta make the way for new people or else your hobby's just gonna die when you die and
Sure,
get
of
all
course.
old, and that's no fun.
Yeah.
And new
And
people are fun.
I think they're particularly welcoming of someone like you though too, is just because you have like a lot of like useful experience that you
Aw,
can bring as like a
thank you.
person, who because I think there's a lot of people who are like in this hobby in Gundam that are
Mhm.
aware of like, oh, Warhammer is like this whole other thing with like its own like
Yeah.
particular skills that can be applied to Gunpla. So like they are excited about someone coming into this world who can bring along with
Interesting.
them like their skills and experience that they can share
I
with
hope
like someone
so,
who's
I
new.
hope so. I
I
don't
think
know
so.
how
Yeah.
useful my skills are because like I said, it's like I said in my first video, and I think I might have, like, said something wrong. I think I
Mm,
said, like, most people don't paint their Gundam.
mm,
I never know what to call the miniatures. I call them miniature kits, I
mm,
guess. And I think a lot of people took offense to that because I
mm,
think a lot of people do, but I just don't see it as often
mm.
as Warhammer. In Warhammer, if you don't paint a miniature, people are like, "What are you even doing?"
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I get that. I mean, even in Gunpla, I mean, I don't know. I would also say that most people don't paint. I mean, I think that's
Ooh,
a fair thing
good.
to say.
Yes. Now I
I
can be
mean,
like,
like
I'll tag you in every single comment that, people say
like
that now and be like, "Well, my friend
I
Santa
signed off
really
on
is
that
saying
statement.
it."
Yes.
Good.
I
Yeah.
can vouch for that statement. I mean, but that's just because I mean, like, yeah, most don't. A lot do. Yeah, sure.
Mhm. Mhm.
But I mean, if you're just talking like the majority, I would say it's
Yeah.
over 50%. Yeah,
Yeah.
don't.
I've
Mm.
painted 2 out of the amount that I've bought, and I'm a full-time painter, so I
Oh,
guess
yeah, I mean,
that
like,
speaks for
if you're just
itself.
talking about, like, the ratio of, like, how many kits I build versus how many kits I paint, I mean, like, yeah, it's
2.
100 to 1 almost.
2. Yeah, mine's
I don't have
20 to
time for
2.
that.
1 in
Yeah,
10 currently.
yes.
And yeah, no one has time for that.
Mhm,
I even, like I mean, Gundam is so much quicker than Warhammer. I think that's
mhm,
again another thing that's like hooked the Warhammer people because when you build a
mhm,
Space Marine, you build it for like an hour and then you spend like 3 days painting it. And like I said, maybe at the end it doesn't look very good. And then you have
mhm,
another 20 to build and paint. So I think people are enjoying having a little break
mm,
from just the painting grind,
mm.
which again can be very stressful.
No,
Actually,
yeah, I mean, like,
extremely
it's
stressful.
interesting that you mentioned that people in, on that side, like, talk about how therapeutic it is, but I mean, like,
I'd love to
I
know.
myself have talked about this a lot, and like I know that people in like the Gundam community
Mhm.
talk about how therapeutic Gunpla is. I think Gunpla is definitely more therapeutic just because of
I
how
agree.
simple it
I
is,
agree.
right?
I was hoping you would say that. I mean,
Yeah.
I've built a few. Like
Mm,
I said, I want to do a video where I like rank or rate every single one that I've ever built. And again,
mm,
it's not much, but I'm trying.
yeah.
And there's been a few that I'll have to be like, it wasn't as fun. My
Mm,
I so one of the first ones I built, what is it? It's like the real grade Zeta Gundam Verka or something,
uh,
and it sucked. It was like
was it the RG
it was
Zeta?
I think so, and it the one with, like, the
Mm,
transforming feature, one of my big things
yeah.
is to put cards on the table, I have dyscalculia. I'm terrible at saying numbers out loud, which makes
Uh,
it very hard for me to say what Gundam kits are. I like Witch from
uh,
Mercury because they all have names, but,
mm,
when it comes to, like, numbers and stuff, I suck. But yeah,
mm,
I tried to put it together, and it was one with, like, the transforming feature, and I'm like, "This is gonna be incredible." I still haven't built it because it just, like, broke in 3 places. I was like,
mm,
"This is
yeah.
extremely stressful, and I hate this."
Hey,
So
well, that's where your skills in just gluing stuff together is gonna come in handy.
well, I know how to
Do it
pin
all.
and glue things together, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
So,
good,
I
I
mean,
guess.
that's the solution. But I mean, it depends on if you're talking because you said the Verka, which would be the MG. So if it's the MG,
No, I must be saying the wrong one.
if it's the RG, it's small, right? The
Yeah,
smaller
yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
okay, yeah. That one's
Again, I'm a
notoriously
noob.
bad.
Please be nice to me in the comment section. I'm
Yeah,
trying.
no, everyone's gonna be on your side. Yes,
Okay,
that
thank
one's
God.
notoriously bad. I'm one of the few people that actually stand up for that kid because
Really?
I
Give
don't
me give
think
me
it's.
your elevator pitch. Okay, I'm pissed off at it. I wanna,
Oh, I think
defend him.
it's one of the best looking versions of the Zeta Gundam
Okay, I'll take that.
once it's all
If you
built.
can build it.
Yeah, right. I mean, like, you just have to be very, very gentle with it,
I
but,
am gentle, but obviously, like, me being like, "Get in," wasn't gentle enough, I
yeah,
suppose, but
I mean, I didn't have a bad experience with mine, but, I mean,
there you go.
I built it, 1 out of 1 time building it, I had a good experience. Maybe if I build another one, it'll go bad
And
and
bear in mind, it was, like, the 3rd one I'd ever
yeah.
built, so maybe I didn't have, like, the knowledge or the dexterity to be, like, careful with this piece,
Mhm,
or
mm,
I don't have a part separator yet either. I
mhm,
need to get one of those, so, like, when I make a mistake, I was probably, like, ripping it apart and, like, pulling
mm.
out pegs and stuff like that with it. I probably wasn't as gentle as I could have been.
There is actually, like I've been more aware of that, like, kind of in the last year or so, maybe that, like,
What, being
there
gentle?
is kind of an added kind of, like, layer of skill that goes into building, even just not painting or anything, just, like, snap building, but
Yeah.
it's, like, a little bit of, like, skill or experience that you get over time of, like,
Mhm.
how to press parts together in the right way without stuff breaking
Yeah.
that,
Or,
like, you
like,
just kind of only get through
feeling when
experience.
it's wrong and then
Yeah.
being able to take it back before you're stressing all the plastic out or
Mhm,
something like
mhm,
that. Yeah, for sure.
mm,
It's like any hobby. If you do it for long
mm,
enough, you subconsciously just start to build up, like,
mm,
subliminal dexterity for how to put things together. But yeah,
mm.
I ain't got that yet, so it just crumbled in my hands. But that's the only
Yeah.
kit I've ever built that I've been like, this wasn't so fun." Like, and there's been ones
Well,
that I've Googled later, um, that people were like, "I hated this," and I was like, "Oh, I
mm,
had a really good time with this." So,
mm,
can be an
that's
interesting kit.
yeah, I mean, like, that's why I say, like, I defend that kit just because I generally would
Good.
defend any
You do
kit,
that.
like,
You
there
do
are no
someone's
bad
gotta.
kits. There's only been,
Only
like,
bad
1 kit that
people.
I really didn't like, and it wasn't
Oh,
so
yeah?
much just because of, like, the build, even though the build was also, like, not great,
What was
but
it?
it was
What was
just 'cause
it?
of the design. Uh, it
Get
is
it on the screen so I
yeah,
can
the
I'll defend it.
we need to publicly shame this one,
Let's
and
do it.
people I mean, my normal viewers will probably know, but I've actually, to be honest,
Guess
have
in the
been
chat. Put
thinking
your
I need
guesses in the chat.
yeah, I'll give it I mean, I'll give people a second to guess just because I am curious
Yeah, do
if
it, do
anyone's gonna
it.
guess it, but
Is this your least favorite kit, would you say?
it's the kid that I, because I build, like, so many, so
I'm
this
sure.
one stands out as one that I definitely didn't enjoy
Have
it
fun?
once I got it
Yeah.
done. Um, and I think a lot of it just to do with, like, the how it looks straight out of the box. I've been
Okay.
thinking recently that, like, I would like the opportunity to build it again and just, like, paint it and, like,
Give it
customize
another
it or
go,
some way.
yeah. Yeah.
Just to, like I feel like if I just tried to, like, make it my own, I
I
would
really
enjoy
want
it
to
a
know
lot
what it is.
more, but I
Is
do
it a
not.
new kit or an old kit? Give us a hint.
Well, here's the issue is that it's not that old, but it's very hard to
Okay.
find because they only ever, I think, only ever
Ah.
printed it once, and they've
All
not
right.
ever
Oh,
reprinted
okay.
it.
So it's a fancy boy kit. Let's see.
I
Let's
think
see.
that
Reveal. Has anyone guessed it?
no, no one's guessed it,
Oh,
yeah. Even though I've talked about this many times, so
come on.
I'm kind
What
of
are you? All these
disappointed.
fake
Yeah,
Zacharias fans in the chat.
it's not
Get with the
working.
deep lore. I've been here for 5 minutes and I'm like,
Here
y'all
you
are
go.
fake.
This guy, the Scramble
Who's
Gundam.
he? He's a handsome orange man.
Yeah, it's
Scramble like eggs.
yeah, basically.
What? He looks. What's wrong with him? He looks like a pretty nor. Oh, I like the clear plastic. That's
Yeah,
fun.
no, it looks like it wouldn't be that bad, but
He looks.
when I
Yeah,
was
it
building
looks
it, it's
thick.
like,
What's wrong with him?
well, it came out. When did this kit come out? So I,
Don't know.
without looking up, I
You've
think it
zoomed
was like
in.
2018, maybe.
All right, so not that long ago. I mean, yeah,
No,
maybe 7 years ago, but we don't like to think about that. So
yeah, I mean, like it feels like it was last year,
let's
but
let's not talk about that. A while ago, it
mm.
was released.
But I mean, but when you build it, it builds like a kit from like 1998,
Yeah. So
which
not fun, I
that
assume.
doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing, but it's like, why are they making this kit? Like,
Why haven't they
what's
caught
going on
up
with
with
this
this
thing?
guy? It's really pretty. I like
I
the
mean,
orange and the clear blue. That's really nice.
he's not going to be offended if you just tell the truth. I mean, it's ugly
I
color
think
scheme.
he's not
I
ugly. He's handsome. Nah, orange and blue is like a classic.
I don't know. All right. Well,
The
if you
main
can ever
battle
find
suits,
one,
the
you
main
give it a
color for
try.
the battle suits in Warhammer, which are like likened to Gundam, is orange. It's
Hmm.
like the same color. They love orange battle suits. But yeah, he's
Let's
handsome.
let's see.
He's
Oh,
a
I mean,
handsome
I
boy.
guess here you could get one,
Oh, that's not so bad.
but then it's probably like $40 shipping or something, probably from Amazon.
Yeah, probs, especially for
Oh,
me
and
in the
why is that
UK.
even like P Bandai? Oh, so that's even like that's like the
That's the
clear
fancy.
color version or
Yeah.
something, probably,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think.
yeah. Oh, cool.
This one,
That's not. I mean, $100, that's pretty spenny, actually. It's quite
I don't know,
spenny.
yeah. Plus whatever shipping. So I mean, anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, like I said, they only ever printed it once, I think.
That's your least favorite one so far.
I didn't like it.
I did
I,
not
I
care
was
for it.
disappointed.
It insists upon itself.
Yeah. But I mean, a
Okay.
lot of the other ones, like here's like the one like the most common ones that people talk about is like some of the worst, like the RG Zeta, like you said.
I think that's the
People,
one. It must be the one I did. I didn't
it
even know
comes up
though. I just
all the
Googled it. I was
time.
like, has anyone else had this issue? And everyone's like, don't buy
Yes.
it. It
Yeah, pretty
fucking
much.
sucks.
There's
What's the other
that.
one? It was this guy, if I can just pick him up.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, is that also the RG
yeah.
what is it? Not
Free
Savior.
not
Or is it
freedom.
Savior?
Is it freedom? Help me, victory?
Justice?
Justice. I knew it was
Yeah.
one of those words. There we go.
Something like that.
Yeah, I loved it.
Mm.
Like, and I went online and people are like, this is the worst one I've ever built.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
got a
it's
bit of a
dope.
mixed reputation too, that one, yeah.
Really? Because
Yeah.
well, there you go. As someone who's like never done it before, I bought another one because I'm like, cool, I want to do something with it. I really
Really?
liked it. Yeah.
Alright.
I don't think it's as cool or as like good, I guess, as some of the other like ones I've done, but I definitely didn't struggle, had a great time, and loved the end result. And look, I'm shaking it, nothing's fallen off. I am a bit nervous though, so I'm gonna put it
Yeah.
down.
I mean, like, yeah, that one too. Yeah, it's got like kind of mixed reputation, like I said. Kind of my
Oh
only
yeah,
real
yeah.
problem
Well,
with
there you go.
that
He's doing
kit.
the splits now, so that's on.
See?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we about to
it
say
can be
that
like
too.
a bit wobbly, and like the proportions aren't great on it is kind of
Yeah,
my main thing. But
disagree. I think it's built very pretty, and it's pink as well. So
it is
whatever.
very pink.
But yeah, I really like that. That's an example of like, because I'm not chronically Gundam online, I would never
Yeah.
have known, and I
Well,
built it. And I was surprised.
that's honestly for the best. I mean, because that's what I always tell people. It's like don't like be dissuaded by like
Mhm.
seeing some YouTube video or someone
Yeah,
on Instagram being like, "This kid is garbage." I mean, like, if you think it looks cool, just
yeah.
get it and build it. Try it
Yeah.
for yourself.
Yeah. Well, there you go. I
Yeah.
probably wouldn't have bought it if I saw people being like, "This one sucks," but now I've got two
Mm,
because I love it. It's got good
there you go.
bits. Got a big backpack, and again, it's pink. Not that that matters to me, but it absolutely does.
It's nice. You certainly have a lot of different great pink options though
Oh my
in
gosh.
Gundam.
So
There's
I
loads.
know, I know, like I don't know. What do people think about Witch from Mercury? Because there was a lot of girly pops Gundams in that, and I gotta say, I
People
loved
like
it.
it. It's popular.
Good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Safe.
Yes. Safe.
Yeah.
I really like my current. I every time I say this so much, but every time I build a new Gundam, I'm like, this is my new favorite. This is my new
Mm,
favorite. And I think the Calibarn is my current new favorite because
mm,
it's
gotcha.
so nice. And I like
Sure.
that they look like girls.
Yeah, they got the proportions down for
Yeah,
sure. They're
yeah,
really
yeah.
nice.
They got thighs for days and
Mm.
waist for minutes. But
Ooh,
but I like
thinking another
them.
recommendation I have for you.
Oh yeah, yeah. What they got? Is it more girly Gundams? If it's
Uh,
what's it called? There's that one that looks like Sailor Moon that people keep sending
oh,
me. What's its
no.
name? I can't remember. I
Yeah, that
can't
was
read the
actually
chat
someone just put that
either.
in the chat too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
the Universal
sure.
Gundam. Yes.
Yeah. As soon as like you said someone's got a recommendation, I'm like, it's gonna be that. I get sent that like 5 times a day.
Yeah. There's other, I mean, like, there's other ones that are like less obviously like a
Feminine.
female character kind of thing.
Yeah.
I feel like we'd be better like the
I'll take
Rosenzulu
him.
would be one that I feel like you'd probably
I know
really
it's like super predictable, and I feel like if someone said this about Space Marine, they'd get like laughed off the internet. But I like girly stuff, and that should be
yeah.
okay. There's a lot of I follow a lot of girls
Yeah.
that do it that like customize them. Hello. Look at those.
Okay.
Look at the sleigh. Okay, look at those heels.
Yeah. Got the
Damn.
heels, we got the pink, got the big massive
It,
claws.
it's so like I like that you said like two very traditionally like girly things like big heels, pink, massive
Massive
claws. I'm
claws.
like,
All right, right.
love that in a woman. Love
Mhm.
straight up. You've described my ideal woman. Just huge claws.
Yep. See, there you go.
There she is. Yeah, I love
But
that. Oh, I like
that's
the clear
one
plastic one. Dang.
I would absolutely recommend. Love this kit. Yeah, I used to have
Really?
that clear one too. It's really cool
What is
actually.
it?
I don't normally go for like the clear color stuff, but that one actually is really
That's
nice.
really pretty. Yeah. Oh.
This one, the
Whoa!
you want the big thighs.
Whoa!
Same got that.
Built like a Pixar mum. What the
Yeah,
fuck?
Power Dolls kit. That one's a good one.
Who's she and why is she built like
I
that?
don't know. It's
Why would
based
they
from
describe?
like a retro side-scrolling like mecha game.
I love her.
Yeah,
Oh, mama. It's so bad. I love it.
so
Like low key.
you should definitely check out that one too.
What's
Mm.
she? Power what like is she? Is she a Bandai one or is she
No, so it's Plum is the model company that makes they make a
get it,
couple different
Plum?
versions of the Power Dolls kit, but yeah,
Cool.
Power Loader kit from the game Power Dolls.
I never heard of it.
Yep.
Gonna have to play it now because that's so much. I love that.
I've never actually played the game. I just know the kits. So like
Power
that's a
dolls.
common thing like for me is that, like
Oh, that
a
looks really
lot of stuff
cool.
that's like based off of anime or games. Like I have no experience with like the source material. I just like the
Yeah.
model kit.
Okay, I'm really glad that we discussed that because
Mm,
I'm not like I watched like the original 3 like Gundam movies, but I've not watched like
mm,
every single one. I've seen like
mhm.
a few of them, but I'm not like I just see a kit that I like and I'm like, cool, I'm gonna get it. And I think that's common. I think that's okay. Is that okay?
Yeah,
Am I being a tourist?
I don't know, like how come I think there's a good mix. I think there's a lot of people, especially I feel like for people that are kind of more into like the modeling
Uh-huh.
aspect of it are more like that, where they don't really care too much about like about where it's
The
from or the
lore,
series or
I
anything
guess,
like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm,
But
mhm.
a lot of people are fans because they're fans of the anime. All right.
I
And so
can I can I can
yeah.
switch between. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Mm,
I think I like Zaku's because I like the anime a
mm,
lot. I also I build too many Gundams. I think I'm secretly a Zaku girly, and I
yeah.
just need to I just need to build more
Embrace it.
Zakus. But yeah, well, they're
Mm,
my favorite in like the animes and stuff, like 100%. But
mm.
I've only built like one Zaku suit in my time.
Are you excited for the new one from the new series?
Oh, yes. So, I
Yeah.
watched the whole have you seen the movie yet?
No, not yet. Mm-mm. I
I
know.
wanted to I won't obviously spoiler
I mean, you can.
anything.
I've I already
I
know
wouldn't.
all about it. So, well, I guess
Yeah.
other people in the chat, like,
Yeah,
because the
I
series
won't
hasn't,
I
like,
won't
officially
spoil or
kicked
anything,
off. Yeah,
obviously. But there are
definitely.
I love the police Saku suits.
Yeah.
They are it's those they got again, they're just going straight for the thighs. What are
Yeah.
they doing? Why are they doing this? They
Yep.
worked it out. They released the aerial and they're like, "Huh, we can do
Hmm.
something here. Hmm,
If
this
only
seems."
they would figure that out for the 30-minute sisters kits as well would be
Oh
nice, but
yeah. I
anyway.
anyway, I really like the police Zaku. I think
Mm,
it's really cute. My friend was like, "I'm totally gonna get a Zaku suit and like customize it to look like that." I'm like, "They're just selling the kits. They're just giving us them."
mhm,
But yeah, I really like the look of all the suits because obviously
mhm.
love Evangelion. So when I saw
Ah,
like weird Gundams, I was like,
mm,
"Oh shit, that's really cool." And I think that's what I liked about Witch from Mercury as well, is that they went weird places with a lot of the suits.
mm,
And I thought that was neat. But yeah, the movie's really good.
mm.
Um, I got invited to the premiere by Bandai. Again, very fun.
Nice.
Sorry, US influencers. Starved. Starved.
Nope. No love
Don't worry,
over
man.
here.
I'll
Mm,
I'll hook you up. Ugh, I hate that. I take that back. Delete
anyway,
that from the record.
but,
But yeah, the movie's great. It was really cool. I'm looking forward to the series coming out. When is the series out? Do you know?
uh, uh, did it just start
I
in
hope
Japan
so.
recently? I think so.
Well, I'd like it to be out by Monday so I can watch it on the plane to America. So if they could
Hmm,
just speed it up a
yeah,
bit, that would be
I'm
great.
not sure. But it's interesting to hear that, like, that you
Mhm.
thought that the designs were quite unique from Witch from Mercury, and then obviously, like,
Yeah.
from G-Quox, I mean, like, they're very
Quacks.
different, so I feel like that's pretty obvious to everyone,
Yeah,
but even, like, just because you don't have a lot of experience, like, with Gundam, I feel like you
it's okay to
maybe
say.
wouldn't know kind of how unique those suits are compared
No,
to other stuff,
I
like,
think I'm comparing it to basically, like, my perception of Gundam,
and especially
probably
compared
more.
to, like, the original series for sure.
Yeah, well, this is it,
Yeah,
yeah, like,
yeah.
I think, my perception of Gundam is, like,
Mm,
like, a couple of movies I watched when I was really young, Iron-Blooded Orphans, and then, I guess, seeing Seed on, like, Toonami or something when I was, like,
mm,
12, I
mm,
guess.
mm,
But, yeah, I that those are just the ones that stood out for me, and again, it could just be because I'm brand new and those are the new things which are coming out.
mm.
I don't
No, yeah, I
know.
mean, they were definitely, I mean, like, this is something that I've talked about, here on the channel too. I feel like
Mhm.
Bandai, when they make stuff like that, that's, like, very different,
Yeah.
uh, like, I feel like there's always gonna be people who are like, "Oh, it's different, it's weird, I don't like it," but,
I saw a
if
lot
they
of
just made the
people.
same thing every time, then people would be like, "Oh, make something new."
No, they would love that. I
You
know
think so?
Warhammer enough that
Okay,
if you no, people would love just the same thing forever. They
fair enough. Alright.
but no, I love it. I like
Mm,
it when things do something a little bit new
mm,
and different, and,
mm.
I understand why how are you saying it? G-quarks?
G-Quox? Mm,
Quacks, like a
mm,
duck. Oh, yeah. I understand why that wouldn't be everyone's cup of tea because it is very, very unique. Like, it's not a
mhm,
safe design at
mm,
all.
mm,
So I understand completely why people would be like, "This is a little bit too much," but,
mm,
I think it's super cool, but again, I'm in my very much my honeymoon period.
mm.
Let's have this discussion again in, like, 10 years, and I'll be like, "Actually, it looks shit." So
Well, I mean, interesting that, I mean, like, for someone who's so into painting,
Yes.
as you are, because my initial thought, like, the very first time when I saw, like, the G-Quox design, the very
Mhm.
first thing I thought of was, like, "That's gonna be so hard to paint," because
Oh,
it has all these little bits,
I'm
everything.
already planning how I'm gonna paint mine. I kind of want to go as weird as it is with the color scheme. So,
Mm,
like, I guess mild spoiler in the movie, there's like they call it Kira Kira, and it's
mm,
the sparkle magic.
yeah,
And it's this very like my lights are flashing by the way, so if they turn off randomly, I'm sorry. And
mm,
it's just like this very random kind of like it's almost like flash camo pattern, and I'm like, "I can
mm,
paint an entire Gundam in that pattern, and it will look terrible, and I will love it." I love
yeah,
challenges. I love painting challenges. I love when something's impossibly difficult and I can try
mm,
and do it. I gotta
yeah,
show you, I one time painted a whole miniature in inverse, so the only way you can see the paint job is by, like, inverting all the colors. It's fun.
I saw your crayon.
Oh, the
What
crayon
was it?
eater.
The
Oh, that
crayon
was
build? Yeah,
easy. That was
I saw that one.
easy. Yeah, that was
So,
just
I mean,
picking as many colors as I could. But yeah, I like
actually,
painting tiny as well. I love a painting challenge.
this is actually something that I've talked with Ryan about, and I can't remember
Oh yeah.
if we
Oh,
talked
he's
about this
fantastic. Isn't
during
he a
the.
cutie pie as well? Such a nice
I
boy.
love Ryan. He's great. Yeah,
Oh, he's a lovely boy.
shout out
Shout
to
Ryan.
our Ryan,
Love you, Ryan.
the dearest one.
The dearest one.
I don't remember if it's something we talked about during the interview or later, but this
Mhm.
is like one thing that I really like about like sometimes the kits that are like less detailed or anyway kits that give you like a bit more of a challenge. It's like a lot more fun. So like that's why
Yeah.
one of the reasons why like I really like HG kits when they don't have like all the part
Yes.
separation and colors everything because
I
there's a
think
lot
I think
more
in Warhammer
to
they
do
call
with
it
it.
negative space a lot, which is like
Mm.
large panels that give you like the opportunity to like
Yeah.
freehand like an entire mural onto. Yeah, a lot of the
Mm.
time Warhammer painters lean towards those kits more
Mm.
than very detailed kits because they get a chance to like flex a little
Mm.
bit more, which is interesting.
Mm. Yeah, and then like you're saying, like just challenging yourself, like having like a like you had with like the crayon eater where you're just trying to go for like a something like a unique and challenging and
Well,
challenge,
even
right?
in a challenging challenge. Even
Yes.
with my, GBWC, entry, I decided that I would hand paint every single element on it.
Mm.
So, like, even, like, the paintbrush is painted to look like a paintbrush
Mhm.
with a paintbrush, and I painted, like, the shadow underneath the paintbrush and the paint on the paintbrush, and, like, all the lines on the clippers was really weird. That was kinda trippy because I
Mm.
painted them to look like realistic clippers, and then I kept trying to pick them up because I thought they were my clippers because I painted them that well. But, if you watch the video, I say I wish I had, like, another 3 months to do it because I reckon I
Mm,
could have got
mm,
it close to photorealistic on some
mm,
elements, which would have been really good fun. But yeah, I love
mm,
I love a painting challenge. So
mm.
yeah, even
Yeah.
even with my very short deadline GBWC entry, I wanted to be like, I wanna flex. I
How
wanna
long
I
did you
wanna
work on it altogether?
Oh, literally like a month. And that's my own fault because I'm
Mm,
very scatterbrained. So it's not like my best paintwork that I can do, but I
mm,
got it finished and I'm happy. I'm happy that I got it finished. And yeah, I really
yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to doing it again. The GBWC is fun.
Mm.
Have you ever done it? You should do it.
Yeah, I entered once when I was living in Korea,
Oh,
actually, yeah.
cool.
Yeah. It's fun. Yeah, it
Did you
was
enjoy it?
interesting in your video about it that you kind
Mhm.
of, at, like, the very end when you were saying, like, you're not sure if there's anything else kind of like, worthy of critique sort of about
Yeah.
GWC, yet you're too new to know about, like
Okay,
it
okay,
all
so
seems very
can we talk about this now? Because,
sure.
like, I saw no, no, you continue what you were gonna say.
Mm. Oh,
Because I like I said, so in Warhammer, there's, like, a GBWC equivalent called Golden Demon, and
yeah, yeah.
it's just, like, a painting competition. I'm gonna enter
Mm,
it in, like, a few days' time. It's gonna be fun.
mm,
But that is, like, riddled with drama.
mm,
Riddled with it, and I'm like I came into the GBWC being all, like, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, not really like I said,
yeah.
not got a lot of Gundam friends. That sounds so sad when I do have friends. Just I want everyone to
They're
know.
just over there.
Um, but yeah, I don't
Mm,
have people that are so ingrained in it that
mm,
I know kind of like, "Oh, this judging method that they did this year wasn't very
yeah.
good," or "This was an unfair advantage." And I've seen recently that now they're allowing 3D printing. Have you
Oh,
seen?
no. I know they just announced for this year's competition, like, yesterday or something. I haven't
Yeah.
looked at the rules yet.
Yeah, so big drums, big drums.
Yes.
They're now allowing 3D printing in the GBWC.
That's a terrible idea.
Their live reaction, that's what I was looking for.
Okay.
I freaking baited you so good there.
Yep.
So
Can't say I'm
in
a fan of that, but alright.
no one's a fan of that. So for
Yeah.
me, again, I'm so new that I was like, "Are we okay? What's all this? Are we okay with this?" In
Mm,
Golden Demon, 3D printing is allowed. So I'm kind of used to it, but it has to be unique. Like you have to have sculpted it yourself.
yeah.
So, and it can't be, and if it's the whole miniature, then it goes into its own separate category. which is like the open category. So that's how it works with Warhammer. So say you've got a guy and his sword is something you've sculpted and 3D printed, that's fine. But
Yeah.
if it's like an entirely new miniature you've made up yourself, it goes into a separate category. So yeah,
Fair.
I personally really liked, and I mentioned it in like 2 videos that I did where I was like, I like that the GBWC is no 3D printing.
Mm.
I think that's like a good feature. I want to know, what do you think? What do you
I
turn
mean,
this around?
I
What's
guess,
your what's the
well, so
chat
I guess
saying?
as
What's the chat saying?
as Kaiju Kanojo was saying in the chat there. Hello, someone else
Hi.
who I follow on Twitter
Oh well,
there.
hi.
But she was saying, and I guess, like I said, I haven't read the rules, but if it's true what she's saying, that GBWC is allowing 3D printed parts as long as you design them yourself, how are they going to police that? It's just like such a
Literally,
pain.
it's something, again, with Golden Demon, you can't. Like, you
And
just got to
especially
kind of trust people.
this is like, all right, we could talk a lot about issue like
I'd
half
love
year's
to.
worth of GBWC drama, but here's one of
Is
my
there
big.
drama?
Yeah, sort of, yeah, and it kind
Okay.
of comes and goes, but, like, my biggest critique of GBWC generally,
Okay.
well, there's 2. Number 1 is that they don't market it enough is the main problem.
I think they're
Second
trying
problem,
really hard to do that, which is why they were like, "Hey, Louise, do you wanna
yeah,
do the
well, so
GBWC?"
hopefully that changes. The other thing is that, they don't have one set of judges that goes around for
No,
all the events. Like, in
inconsistent
America, we have
judging. Yes.
American judges here. In the UK, you guys have your own judges there.
Yeah.
So then once they all go to the finals, all the finalists have been judged by different people, and like
This is
you don't like
something
have a good standard for everything. And I mean, like, I'm not saying
inconsistent
that any of the
judging is
judges are
such an
like
issue.
subpar,
Yeah.
yeah, but
It's
it's just a
inconsistent.
matter of
One judge
yeah,
may be like, "I love airbrushing.
mm,
That's my gold standard is like
right,
highly airbrushed
mm,
miniatures or, kits or whatever." And
mm,
then it's exactly the same in Golden Demon. They've recently switched who judges Golden Demon, and people are like,
mm,
who are these new people? They don't know what they're judging. I've entered this competition for 15 years with these
mm,
premises being how
mm,
I like rank high. And now like there's people that are judging based on different things. Yeah, inconsistent judging is a massive issue. I'm
mm.
judging a miniature painting competition in a couple of days. I'm bricking it. It's no fun. It's no fun to do.
Yeah,
But that's
yeah,
I think a completely fair. How would you fix
mm.
that? What's your fix?
I think they should just have one set of judges that travels. I mean, Bandai just has to fly them around the
Hell
world
yeah.
to these
Hell
events,
yeah.
and I mean, it's not like they can't afford to do that.
No,
So
they're doing it with all the winners anyway. No, that's
yeah,
that's a that's a fun little tour as well. I don't
I
want to
think
be a
they just
judge.
need to have, and I mean, like, the thing is, it's like an expense for them to do that, but then also like, because normally like the judges there at the finals, it's like the editor in chief of like
Oh yeah.
Dengeki Hobby, and then like all these like I
All the
mean, these
big
people can't
wigs.
they can't spend half the year traveling around for GBWC. So like, I don't know exactly who it would be.
You could still have
Yeah.
people who are trained really well
Yeah.
in like examples and stuff.
Mm.
The other thing is, and again, this is an issue with Golden Demon, is how seriously Bandai want to take it. Like
Mhm.
if they want it to be like, cool, we're gonna spend a lot of our time and resources celebrating artists and like celebrating their hard work and that being their main priority, then maybe they will do more
Mm.
consistent judging in the future. But if it's a case of like, this is really good marketing for us,
Yeah.
then it's a completely different kettle of fish. Like they can essentially they don't have to
Mm.
overexert themselves if that's the case. And if that is the
Mm.
case, then there are other local painting competitions, I'm sure.
Mhm. 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 Yeah. So I mean, it's interesting. I mean,
It
just
is. I
as
enjoyed it.
far as like the 3D printing goes, because they
Oh
also have
yes.
a rule that you're not allowed to use like any non-Bandai like decals
I nearly got into trouble for that. I had to
for the
repaint my
decals.
paint pots. No, I did so I repainted the paint pots as Mr. Hobby paint pots.
Uh,
And I had to paint over the logo because I
yeah,
was
yeah,
like, yeah, that's another
definitely.
brand. So before I submitted it, I had to paint over all my logos, which was really
Mm.
sad because I spent a really long time painting them.
Yep.
But yeah,
Yep.
that was something. That was something.
So, I mean, and so, yeah, I mean, it's just gonna be up to the judges to
Yeah.
catch this stuff. I mean, and
But
especially
it
for
feels
like
like,
the online
sorry for
category, it'd be
interrupting.
hard.
Well, it's easier to police if it's just across the board not allowed.
Yeah.
as
Right.
well. Like that would be
Yeah.
my thing, is just like, and I wonder like what are they trying to do by allowing it? You know what I mean? Like what market are they trying to be like, yeah, we like
Yeah.
3D printers, we want people to be more creative with our kits. Like there's a
Mm.
reason that they've put it in. I'd like to think there's a reason why they've put it in this year as opposed to never having it any other year. Because it's like extra effort, right? Is it because the war
Yeah.
gamers are getting into it and they know people like sculpting and they're trying to branch that out more? I don't know.
I also do not know. I'm not sure.
What are
I
you,
guess
what are you
like
thinking, Bandai? What are you doing?
my only guess would be is that like because they've had problems where like because they don't want you using like parts from other manufacturers too, from
Mhm.
like Kotobukiya or Wave or other companies that make like these like option detail parts.
Yeah.
And so I guess this would give people the opportunity that like if they wanted to use those type of parts, they can just design it and print it
I
themselves.
guess.
But I mean, you could just scratch build it as well
Yeah.
at that point.
Well, I mean, it's hard. That's
Yeah.
difficult and takes a lot of time to do. Um, but again, I feel like it would just be easier for them to be like, just don't use those parts. It's easier to
Mm,
judge. People have gotten on however long they've done it for without doing it. It's an interesting choice, but like I said, I don't know
no.
enough about the culture and what people do and what people think to really comment on it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. All right. Well, I saw, like I said, I saw that they announced it. I think it was
Mhm.
yesterday actually, but
Something like
I
that,
didn't
yeah.
check the rules. I just assumed that it's kind of the same rules as
I think
always,
it's
but
mostly
I'll
the
have to
same,
give it
but
a
that
look.
was the one that I saw people posting about and going, "Ooh,
Yeah,
ooh, drama."
if not seen that, yeah, I'll check it out.
I'll send you a picture.
Yes, please. I gotta check this out now. I may have to talk more about it in the future.
Ooh, do a little video about it.
I
Ooh,
don't know.
fun.
Tempting, but all right.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think we got to wrap up.
Oh,
Unfortunately
sad.
for today,
I've had a
but
lovely time. Thank you
yeah,
for
we'll
inviting
definitely
me.
talk more. There's a lot more I'm sure that we could get into,
Oh, so much.
all
So
kinds of
much.
different
I could
stuff.
talk about construction booklets for straight up 2 hours.
It'd be
So
interesting to, yeah, I mean, like I'd be interested to know kind of more about that kind of like that's the kind of like back end like production side of
Oh,
like
yeah.
the hobby that we don't normally get to hear a lot
Oh,
about.
yeah, so the
But,
Warhammer factory is very similar to the Bandai factory.
hmm,
So except the Warhammer one has, like, an imposing eagle in it, which is a bit uncomfortable, but
hmm, odd.
but yeah, there's
Yeah.
so much. There's so much. I love the crossover that's happened between, Warhammer and Gundam. I think it's really nice,
Hmm.
and everyone's been very friendly too. It's
But
lovely.
and you've got lots more stuff to come, and you're going to be entering GBWC again this
Oh,
year. So
stupid amounts.
very
Every
nice.
time I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna do a Warhammer video," Bandai are like, "Oh, do you wanna come to a premiere?" And I'm like, "Oh, fuck, I'm gonna have to make a video about this."
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
just keep surprising me.
Well, like I said, that's good. I mean, good for Bandai there,
Sorry.
good for you.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
enjoy.
Thank you.
Thank
I
you for
feel
hitting that.
privileged now knowing
Yeah, yeah.
it's, and I hope no one's mad at me. I didn't mean
No.
to. Okay, well,
If anything, hopefully someone, I mean, hopefully, Bandai here in the US
oh,
starts
yeah.
going that way as well.
Well,
I would love to see
it's
that.
been very, I think them getting Warhammer people into Gundam and actively inviting the community out to celebrate has been, it's paid off for them in a really big
Mhm.
way. So I
Yeah.
would like to think that, Bandai US looks at that and they go, "Cool, we'll
Mm.
start sending maybe some model kits out and inviting people
Mm.
for, like, cons and premieres and stuff," and that's not a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. I think just like, I mean, like, there's a lot of different things that they could do. But
Yeah.
anyway, like I said, as long as people like me and like other people here are doing
I
it
like
for them for
you.
free, as long as we're doing it all their promotion for them for free, I mean, like, they don't
Why would
really
they?
need to.
Yeah,
So,
I
I
guess
mean, I
so.
get it, but anyway.
Yeah, I
Uh,
mean, I've done all mine for free, but
mm,
they're just nice. They're just really nice guys. I think
yeah,
they also like Warhammer too, which helps.
yeah, that definitely helps as well.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Um, but yeah, we'll definitely we'll have you
Nice.
on again. We'll talk about some
Love to.
other stuff. I'm sure by that time you'll have built another dozen,
80.
2 dozen, 3 dozen kits,
It's
and
a
you'll have a lot
problem.
more more Gunpla experience, the
Mhm,
good and the
mhm.
bad under your
Yeah,
belt
yeah,
at that
oh,
time.
we'll see. I'll have a new worst kit by then, maybe.
I don't know. You probably can't get too much worse than that one. I feel like so
Love
you're
that. Got it out the way so quick.
yeah, it's probably good. It's all uphill from there, really.
It's all sunshine and rainbows for me now.
Mm.
Great. Love that.
Yeah, for
Great.
sure. Well, thank you for being on. I will let people know too. Again, there's the link to your YouTube channel in the description, but check out the YouTube, check out
I'm gonna go.
Instagram.
Am I pointing the right way?
Nope, wrong way. The other way. There you go. Yep.
Okay, great. Thank you.
And yeah,
Well, thanks for having
Instagram
me
here as
on.
well. Yeah,
Oh, look, there I
absolutely. Thanks
am.
for making the
Doing my
time.
thing. Doing my thing. Nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, it was a pleasure. I hope everyone had fun listening to me yap.
Yeah, thanks. And as I was saying, while you were getting some water, I was letting people know
Yeah.
if people are coming, like they're fans of yours and they're coming, and it's like the first time viewing here, welcome.
Oh,
And
yeah.
if people, that are
Hi,
seeing you for
regulars.
the first time here, I hope you guys will check out Louise's stuff.
Hi,
So,
newbies. Tell me more cute mobile suits to build. Thank you.
yeah, I'm gonna work on that list and send it to you.
Oh, do, because the ones you showed me, just the two you showed me, I'm like instantly like, yep, get in my belly. Absolutely. 100% down.
Awesome.
Cool.
I'm looking forward to seeing them then. I'm gonna expect to see those videos on the channel.
Oh, they will be. Everything's content. I can't just have fun.
Right. Yeah, unfortunately, that's the way
The
that it
grind.
goes. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
anyway, guys, thank you so much.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.